Hey everybody, it's Final Film Productions back with another Terminator Dark Fate video. Today we continue the insight into what exactly Tim Miller and James Cameron were, their ideas and what their mindset was when creating this movie. There's some really interesting quotes again from a Tim Miller interview where he gives an insight into some, Tim Miller's got a lot of flack, but in this interview, he gives some insight on what James Cameron, some of his ideas, some of the stuff he was trying to get into the movie. Some of them we know of already. Others are just bizarre. We'll start with the new stuff. A fan asked, I'll link the interview in the description. A fan asked at this kind of Q&A thing with Tim Miller. He asked Tim Miller about how the Terminators can age and stuff like that, and Miller goes on to say, this is a quote from Tim Miller. He says, "Jim is very adamant that Terminators can reproduce." Tim says, "I thought that jumped the shark, but you can clearly see Arnold's penis in T1." And James Cameron wanted somehow to incorporate, possibly with maybe Arnold's wife in the movie. Who knows what he was thinking? But Tim Miller says, whoa, I can't be party to that. But Jim was completely serious. So James Cameron wanted to have Arnold Schwarzenegger or some Terminator. I presume is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the only real Terminator in the movie. He wanted Terminators to be able to reproduce. I mean, for me, that's a staggeringly stupid idea. For all the flack I give Tim Miller, thankfully, he told Cameron that it was an idiotic idea or something to that effect. He says that it was jumping the shark. He says that he wouldn't be. He didn't want that in the movie. Was Tim Miller being serious? He says that Jim was being serious, and considering some of Cameron's ideas, I kind of believe that he is doing this now. Would he have thought of these things back when he was making T2? I don't think so. Whatever's happened to Cameron, some of the ideas he's thinking of at the moment are just absolutely insane. I mean, there is articles. I don't have the article with me, but if you look it up, James Cameron did also say that the killing of John Connor was his idea. So you can blame writers, you can blame producers, studio heads, you can blame Tim Miller, the director, but James Cameron did admit that it was his idea to kill John. If it had been Tim Miller's idea, had it been Jonathan Moscow in Terminator 3, had it been McGee, had it been all their ideas to kill off John, you could have kind of understood it, because these guys, maybe they don't understand the movies, maybe they're just, I don't know what you could describe, what you would explain it away with. But to have James Cameron be the creator of the worst part of the movie, killing of John Connor, having Cameron be the one who floated that idea and who got that into the script, you just really start to question, why is James Cameron, what has happened to him, the good ideas, the great movies that he used to make, and while he wasn't on set that much, James Cameron, these ideas are the blueprint they are big inputs into the movie and what the script and the movie would turn out to be. The killing of John Connor is the entire setup for the movie. Had there been pregnant, or had there been Terminators making babies, that would have, I can only imagine the reaction that would have got. That was another James Cameron idea. There's another insight here. One of the worst scenes, in my opinion. Well, it wasn't necessarily that it was a badly done scene. I just didn't feel it fitted the Terminator. Didn't fit Terminator. Was the big kind of airplane scene, the big crash with all the main characters and the Rev 9. Tim Miller says in this interview as well that I linked in the description, he says that it was James Cameron's idea he wanted to do a big air battle. He says Jim wanted to do a big air battle, and Tim Miller replied to him. He said, "Well, they just did that in The Mummy." And James Cameron says, "Well, I didn't see The Mummy." So, forgetting all that, the fact of the matter is that scene just seems completely out of place in a Terminator movie. It seems like something that would be in a Mummy movie or a Fast and Furious movie. Ultra green screen CGI. It's just another. It's another little tidbit, another little insight into the fact that James Cameron clearly either wasn't interested or wasn't interested. I don't know, is that the right way to describe it? Was he really thinking about how much damage he was doing to the franchise of Terminator? This movie needed to be at least safe and solid. If it was anything but that, the killing of John Connor and all those stuff just put off fans, and it was one of many things that made this a flop, and all these other ideas didn't help it, and thankfully some of them didn't get in the movie. What do you think about James Cameron's input? Terminators making babies, killing John Connor, CGI aeroplane battle sequences, not good in my opinion. What do you think?